Joining us now with reaction, he's the ranking Intelligence Committee Chairman. Devin Nunes is with us. Your reaction to all this, and I say, because it's so illegitimate, so unfair, and so unconstitutional, Republicans should not play a part in this, in my opinion. Your thoughts?
Well, I think you nailed it on the head, Sean, that we have to have at least one member of Congress and at least one lawyer there to take notes so we know what they're saying. Because if not, they do control the gavels, they have the power, and they can do a lot of really bad things. Now, look, I find it interesting that Pelosi is not even going to bother to try to fight the administration and take this to court. I think that's new information. I'm surprised at that, but that means they really are just racing to get this done. And finally, I think what you're seeing is they're on a sugar high with polls right now. They've got 90% of the media poisoning people. They've got all the tech companies poisoning people. So they read the polls right now, and they want to race quickly, as long as it's 50% plus one, to impeach the president. It's like I think you said, a rocket docket impeachment. That's what they're trying to go for.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you specifically about Ukraine. We've all read the transcript. There's nothing there. There's not even a need for a non-whistleblower. But I want to get your reaction. But we do have Biden on tape bragging about leveraging in a shakedown $1 billion of taxpayer money to force Ukraine to fire a Ukrainian prosecutor in 6 hours. And he signed an affidavit saying that's why he got fired, or he's not giving him the money. OK, that sounds like something really serious to me.
Yeah, and that's why I believe, if John Solomon's reporting is correct from yesterday, that the Ukrainians had actually reopened this investigation long before Trump had ever even talked to the new Ukrainian president. So that could be ongoing. If you look at all the happenings in Ukraine over the last few years, it's very concerning. I hope they're supposed to bring in the ambassador, the former ambassador to Ukraine from the United States. She's supposed to come in on Friday. I don't know if she's going to come in or not, but we're kind of looking forward to having her in because, as you probably know, Sean, Pete Sessions, former chairman of the Rules Committee, he sent a letter about her, about concerns about that she was not serving the Trump administration well in Ukraine.
Well,
of course, she was removed. We've seen lots of bragging in the press about how she's going to be the one that really brings down the president.
Well, I have questions because my sources are telling me that the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Yovanovitch, my little birdies are whispering to me, I don't know if it's true or not yet, but I'm looking. Do you know of any evidence that she may have used government resources to monitor communications of American citizens? And do you know if any of these citizens might have been journalists?
Well, what I can tell you is that we know what Pete Sessions, congressman from Texas, now retired, we know what he had to say. We know that there are people within that were not only Ukrainians, but also Americans that worked at the State Department who have raised concerns about this ambassador. That's why she was ultimately removed. We also have concerns that possibly they were monitoring press from different journalists and others. That we don't know, but we have people who are giving us this information, and we're going to ask these questions to the State Department, and hopefully they'll get the answers before she comes in on Friday. But we will give her an opportunity to answer these questions on Friday also if she shows up.
Okay, because now what you're saying is very alarming to me. I have 3 people now that have told me that they believe there is evidence that shows government resources were used to monitor communications. In one case, a journalist that is a regular on this program with the name John Solomon. Have you heard that, Congressman?
Well, what I've heard, and I want to be clear, I think there's a difference. What I've heard is that there were strange requests, irregular requests to monitor not just one journalist, but multiple journalists. Now, perhaps that was okay. Perhaps there was some reason for that it can be explained away. But that's what we know, and that's what we're going to be looking into.
All right, Congressman Devin Nunes, as always, thank you. Voice of reason and courage in the House. We appreciate it.